Up until this transfer window, I've been ambivalent about spending a lot of money on one player. In this transfer window, I spent a lot of money on two players, one of whom I'm playing out of position. I'm not going to say that's the usual transfer window here in SC Bastia, but I honestly think this is the window where we start making those incremental improvements needed to finally push our squad up to the top of League One. My name's FM19, and this is the Ritornu of Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 79. Now, I got to move the window to the other side because, again, as you can see, we sold a decent amount of people. We got a lot out on loan. We also spent a lot of money. You can't see it here because I've got it blocked. Let me move myself out of the way here real quick. 59 million euros we spent, and 2/3 of that was on two players. But when you see them, I think you'll understand why. That said, let me fix this here real quick. That said, we're going to take a look at the outs first. The first big one, Joel Ramirez. Olympique Marseille came in hard for him. He said he wanted to go. Their initial offer was like 12 million euros. I tried doing what I normally do, where I go a little bit lower than they're initially offering, but I add on a bunch of clauses that I know the player is at least going to meet or beat. And in this case, Marseille didn't go for it. They said, no, we'll pay you a flat-out fee. And I said, sure, why not? Because when I told him no the first time, he kind of pitched a fit. This one here, I'm having a hard time understanding. Jacques Neptune, goalkeeper, wasn't getting any more playing time here, wanted to leave. It looks like I sold him for a grand total of 230 euros. So, that was a mistake on my part. Ryan Merlin went to Reims on a free. Alexander Grebenyuk, who was a right back with potential, just never really developed on the reserve squad. First big out, Lyle Foster, had kind of declined. 2.5 star, 3.5 star potential ability, but he's 2.5 star current ability. He's 26-year-old. He wasn't getting any better. I put him out there just to see who would make an offer for him, and Sassuolo came in with the best offer for 3.7 million. I don't know that I got value for him per se. You know, he's rated at 4.5 million now. But seeing as how I paid 185,000 euros for him when he came in, I mean, he is. If you're trying to do like a Moneyball save in Football Manager, which admittedly is very hard because it's very hard to do as opposed to doing it like football, American football, or baseball, Lyle Foster's got to be one of those players you look at in Moneyball because he is so cheap. And he actually is pretty good. The first season we had him in League One, he had 17 goals for us. And then he kind of fell off. But I think if I had played him more often and wasn't constantly looking for somebody just a little bit better than him, he'd be a solid contributor. Bastien Pinchon went out on loan to Nimes. This time, instead of being on a rotation contract, he is on a full-time starter contract. I'm expecting at least 15 goals out of him. And Nimes is a League 2 team, so I think that is definitely doable. And he's had 1 goal in 4 appearances so far, which, that's not too bad. He'll get better. Carzio went to Academia on loan. Redoyen Bentayeb went to Clermont on loan. Iris Soldavia, he got lost in the defensive midfield logjam. I've got a few younger defensive midfielders I want to get first-team playing time to see how much faster they'll improve. And he wasn't really doing it anymore. He was 2.5 star current ability. He's still 3.5 star potential ability. 24 years old. It's possible he could get up to that 3.5 star potential ability, but I've got better defensive midfielders now. I put him out there to see if there was any takers, and RB Leipzig snapped him up for 4.2 million euros. And seeing as how I brought him in on a free, I think that's money well spent. Leonardo Puebla and Victor Manuel Martinez both went out to Boibes Ois on loan. They are one of our affiliates. They're in the National League. Victor Manuel Martinez is one of those he is the striker I brought in. 4-star potential, 1.5 star current ability. I envision him being a part of the rotation 3 or 4 years from now. but I need to get him playing time so he improves, and he wasn't going to get it here, and I wanted to get him full team playing time. I would have thought he'd been lost on the reserves. Beauvais always came in and said, hey, he'll be a full-time starter for us. Remarque Kone went to Angers for 1.7 million euros. He was a backup here. He wasn't happy being a backup. He was looking for first-team playing time. Tom Blanchard is a long-time youth player who plays a position I just don't play. He's got potential. He's got 4-star potential ability, but I just don't play him. I loaned him out more times than I care to remember. He came in as part of our first youth intake. And while he's got potential, I'm not going to play a player in a position I don't want to play just to kind of get him improved. As you can see, he had a couple of solid seasons. Last season out for Nancy, he was really good. Frosinone paid 600,000 euros for him. That may not exactly be value, as I clicked the wrong thing. Seeing it says he's rated 1 million euros now. But I think he should have a good season in Italy. Owen Charpentier went on loan to Furiani Egliani. You get Skifty, who is a player I brought in to be a backup last season. I wanted to get him more first-team playing time. Bastia Borgio came in and asked for him. He was essentially going to be a youth and reserve player, but getting him first-team playing time certainly isn't going to hurt. Cyprian Redenusiuk. He is a midfielder that has a lot of potential. 4-star potential ability. I think he could be a 5-star player. I have a logjam at midfielders. Most FM players always have a position they seem to overbuy on, whether they need them or not. And it may vary from game to game. Like in FM19, for me, it was attacking midfielders. I always had more than I needed. In FM18, it was strikers, because I started playing a 4-3-3, and I thought, I need 7 strikers on my squad just to make that work in case of injuries and whatnot. This game, it's midfielders. And Cyprian is going to be a good midfielder. He got some playing time here. He was part of the rotation, but he was never going to get full team playing time. And then I loaned him out to Madeira last season, and he was okay. But when you see who I brought in, you'll see why I let him go. I got him for 1.4 million. Seeing as how he came in on a free from FC Rapid, I know I definitely came out ahead. Regis Valet, my other promising young striker, is at Valenciennes this year. He is in Bastien Pinchot's position, where he is part of the rotation, but I wanted to get him playing time against quality opponents. And Valenciennes, I also want to say, is in League 2. Let me check that out here real quick. Yeah, they're in League 2 as well. Ayrton. He is one of the young defensive midfielders who... He's got 5-star potential, 2-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. I wanted to get him first-team playing time, and he is going to get it out on loan at CEA back in Brazil. He is a first-teamer there. And then Luca Mercurio, who is another promising midfielder I have. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He is out on loan. At Udinese. I could have sworn he went to Napoli, but I guess he went to Udinese. And then Jose Ramon Martinez, who is another quality defensive midfielder I have, 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He went out on loan as well. And him, I'm not quite too sure of. I may regret sending him out on loan, but I can always recall him. I did make that part of the offer when I loaned him out to Sassuolo. On the ends, a lot of these frees are youth players for the reserve and under 19s. Michael Lukac, midfielder, 1-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, 16 years old. I asked my general manager to find me youth players for no transfer, for transfer 0, and he popped up. So he will be on the youth squad for a long, long time. Thomas Vlasic, Tomas, comes to us on a free transfer, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, plays a really good anchorman at defensive midfield. He is one of the reasons I let Martinez go. He is going to be part of the rotation. Labino Osmani. I think this guy is going to be this year's Heraldus. He is coming in on a free transfer. 3.5-star potential ability, 3.5-star potential ability, 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, midfielder. He is a big reason I let Cyprian go. He is 25 years old. He's still got room to grow, and he is just one of those players I needed to bring in to improve the squad. And for getting him on a free, you just can't beat that with a stick. He was on the PSG reserves, and then he did okay. He had a lot of assists, and I'm hoping he will be an assist machine for us. He went to Xanthi on a free last year, and my guy in Eastern Europe found him, and he popped up. And for whatever reason, he was just on a 1-year contract. And when his contract expired, he had like 15 teams after him. And I said, I will pay you a decent amount, and he got a decent loyalty bonus. I had to up his appearance fee and his goal bonus fee because originally when I signed him, I don't know what was going on here. I had my entire transfer budget. I had 400,000 euros per week in salary available, but the board would only let me pay him 32,000 euros a week, and he wanted like 48. So I came back and said, and he wanted a first-team contract. I came back and said, look, you'll be a key player. I can only pay you $32,000 a week. I'll give you a huge loyalty bonus. I'll up your appearance fee. I'll up your goal bonus. I'll up your international cap bonus. And he gets a bonus if we don't get relegated from League One. Normally, I don't do that sort of thing in the contracts, but I wanted to get this guy in. That's what I had to do, so that's what I did. I almost pulled my back out, bending over backwards to try and help him. Leonardo Puebla comes in from El Alam. I'm not quite sure where that is. He is 20 years old. He is here just for backup and depth on the reserves. Defensive center back, 1.5 star current ability, 4.5 star potential ability. I don't know that he'll ever see that. It's possible he get some playing time in some of the maybe Coup de France and Coup de League games. I don't know. Where is El Alam? Argentinian, okay. Ismael Hernandez comes to us from Vigo for 2.1 million euros. I needed some quality depth at defensive right back. I'm not going to say he's quality depth, but he's solid depth. And I needed somebody who was happy playing on the reserves as well. 2.5 star current ability, 3 star potential ability. He's making 48,500 euros as a backup, which, yeah, it's quite a bit, but you know what? I still have like 250,000 euros per week in salary available. So I'm not too upset about paying him that. Really good wingback, really good fullback. He's improving across the board. He had a good career in Spain. I think we got our money's worth. Vigo bought him for 3.7 million. We bought him for 2.1. He knows he's here on a backup contract. I don't think he's going to be that upset about playing there. And he will get some starts and appearances off the bench on the first team as well, especially with the fixture congestion we're going to have. Ku Xiangcheng comes to us from Schalke for 7.25 million. I needed some depth at defensive center back. 3 star current ability, 4.5 star, I think maybe that's 5 star potential ability. 24 years old, very solid defender. And one of the nice things I like about him, he has increased our commercial sales because he is very, very popular in China. He's a member of the Chinese international squad. He's valued at 7.25 million. He was transfer listed by request, and Schalke essentially sold him for a song. They sold him for about half value. He's had some up and down seasons. His best season was on loan at Borussia Mönchengladbach, but he could never crack the field full time at Schalke. I think full first team playing time here, you will see a solid defensive center back emerge. Thierry Correa comes to us on loan from Monaco. I wanted a backup who could play both defensive right back and defensive left back. I couldn't find anybody to come in on a contract, but Monaco put Thierry Correa out there on loan, and I snapped him up. I'm paying his salary at 17,000 euros a week, which I'm more than fine with. But he plays a really good wing back, full back, and complete wing back, a defensive right back. Left back, he plays a nice wing back, and that's what I play in my 4-1-3-2 and my 4-1-2-1 or 4-1-2-3-1 or my 4-3-3, whatever Football Manager is calling it, depending on what roles I have. Very solid player. Will get some starts, will come off the bench, and is happy to do so. I like that I can put him on the bench and he can come in at 2 different positions. This was the unexpected signing of the transfer window. Adrian Mihalescu from PSG was transfer listed by request. 4.5 star current ability, 5 star potential ability. midfielder, solid across the board. I remember him because, he played for PSG. He didn't exactly abuse us in the games we played in, but he is a very solid player. Romanian international. PSG paid €4.5 million for him. He had a really good season in the PSG reserves. He was out on loan in Milan last year. He got some starts last year. I'm almost positive one of these goals and one of these assists was against us. In 7 appearances, he had 5 goals, 2 assists, and 2 players in the match for an 8.25. And he transfer listed by request because he wasn't getting first-team playing time. And I saw he was available. I looked at his stats. I realized I had scouted him before, and I jumped all over him. In 3 appearances for us, he's had 2 goals and a player of the match for a 7.47 rating. And vaguely, I remember looking at him when he was at Ritornu. So I am more than happy to pay that. I mean, we had the transfer budget to spend, and it goes up to €30.5 million based on international appearances, and I'm okay with that. But he and Osmani, in addition to Heraldes, are my midfield rotation. And I'm actually switching formations a little bit. I'm playing the 4-1-3-2 more often than not. It doesn't use the wingers I have, and it doesn't use Correa, who I absolutely skipped over. We'll go back to him here in just a second. It's 6-1.5 dozen. I have one formation I use wingers. I have one formation I don't use wingers. Matthias Correa is the other big signee of the offseason from Braga. €22 million going to 24. He plays attacking midfielder center. I got him because he's reasonable on the left foot, and I want to make him a winger. Yes, I have Javier Ruiz out there, but Ruiz is going to take another year or two to develop, and I don't want to play an 18-year-old winger every game unless I positively have to. I'm already doing that at one other position because Hernandez left. Vincinius is my full-time keeper. He's 18 years old, 1.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, but I'm throwing him to the fire, essentially. And he's done okay for us. But Correa is playing attacking midfield on the left when I play him. He also comes in off the bench as a striker as well. And he can play some midfield. So he's got some wiggle room. 22 years old. AUF. Is it Spain? No, it's Uruguay. Why do I think he's from Spain? Uruguayan international. So those international clauses in his contract will probably be met. Very solid across the board. Love his physicals. His mentals are solid as well. The 8 bravery is a little bit on the low side, but the 18 to determination more than makes up for that. His first touch is great. His dribbling's great. His crossing's great. Passing and technique are nice as well. He will only get better. So once I get him up to competent as an attacking midfielder on the left, he's seeing playing time there. He's starting there. Ruiz comes in off the bench. Frank gets a start every once in a while, but Frank is probably going to move to the reserves, and he may not be here much longer. The transfer window isn't closed, but I don't think I want to move Frank. I need the depth, if only because of the amount of fixtures we're going to be playing this year. Theophilo Rent, the remainder of these guys are all youth players I brought in on trials and signed as backups for the under-19 because I let a lot of my, as I want to do, all my under-19 players who just aren't going to develop into any sort of players, and that I'm fairly reasonable, and that I'm fairly positive I can't sell. I mean, I could sell if I want to invest the time and energy, but I invested a lot of time and energy in this transfer window already. I let them go, and I bring in some youngsters in for about the same amount. I go out, I find some youngsters who are available on freeze. I bring them in on trials. If I like them, I'll sign them. They're not going to be here maybe 1 or 2 years at best. And maybe once in a while you'll find a diamond in the rough. I don't think Theophilo Rent is it. He's 2-star potential ability, but he's here as an under-19 player. Bozidar Dimov comes to us from Bulgaria. He's a winger on the right. 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. Maybe I could see him being a reserve player in the future. Marko Stojic, 1.5-star current ability, 3-star potential ability at midfield. Because I play midfield heavy formations, and my under-19 squad and reserve squad plays the same formations, I needed depth there at both positions, or for both squads, actually. Vili Celiak, 2-star current ability, 3-star potential ability, defensive midfielder. And then Beka Papashvili, defensive right back. 1.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. He could possibly go up to 4-star potential ability. He's 18 years old, big guy, 6 foot, 163 pounds. Okay, jumping reach. The heading is not that great either, so he's more of a get across the center line, muscle the opposing winger, and cross it in. And that's where we stand on the transfer window. If I go here, you can see we've got 22.42 million euros left in the transfer budget and 105,000 euros a week available on the payroll. And this is after I've also upped my scouting budget as well. We are here at the Lyons game, and the transfer window closes in a week and a half. So there still might be some moves. But the reason we're playing Lyons today is because, one, they're 5th place. They're a very good team. And then we got our Champions League draw coming up as well. So what we're going to do today is play the Lyons game and then do the Champions League draw. It'll be a long episode, maybe 30 minutes after I edit everything out. But I think it'll be worth it. Our games at the moment, up to the moment, I didn't play an exactly heavy friendly schedule, and I'm not quite sure why. After scheduling Arsenal, Austria Vienna, and AC Ajaccio rather, I had to fit in my affiliates as well, and for some reason my board won't give me another affiliate. I probably need to go put my reputation on the line for that. We had a good offseason. No one got injured. The loss against Ajaccio was a bit unnerving, but then again, I played a really rotated side for that, and they got a late goal. So we got our League One season kicked off against Montpellier. And you know what? I'm going to move this back over here. And we won that game 3-1 thanks to goals by Heraldus, Correa, and Frank. We were then away at Strasbourg, and we won that game 2-1 thanks to a brace of goals by Mihailescu. And then we were away at Marseille, and we lost this game 1-0 thanks to a 65th minute goal by Lincoln. This was a very back and forth game. I thought we had the draw. But we just could not get any shots on target. 10 shots, none on target. They're 8-4. We had a slight possession advantage. Couldn't do anything against it. Ramirez was injured all game. And we were just... It was one of those frustrating games to watch. I actually watched that game on key highlights. I watch about maybe 4 or 5 games a season on key highlights just to see how the team shape is holding up and if I can spot anything in terms of players moving out of position or whatnot, or if something doesn't look right, maybe paying a bit more attention to it. And it was painful to watch. The guys were just all over the place. Sorry, I had to let George in there. You probably heard him pounding on the back door. Anyhow, like I said, that was a painful game to watch. Hopefully today's game isn't painful. We're playing Lyons. We are currently tied for them for 5th place. This could be one of those early key games of the season. If we draw or win, I think we're still setting ourselves up for a top-of-the-table finish. I promised the club that we'd get European football this year. I think I promised them Euro Cup. And I told them we'd go a little bit further in the domestic competitions as well. I'm not quite sure why I did that, because Lord knows we always end up getting kicked out of those before I want to. So that said, we do have Lyons coming up. They're a very good team. I'm going to set the best 11, check the reserves, and we're going to be back with this match in just a bit. And this is the squad we are playing today. Vincinius in goal, Almeida, Hrustic, Cristiano, and Flores is the defensive back four. Vlasic as the defensive midfielder behind Osmani and Heraldez. Correa and Macon up top as the attacking midfielders, and Fernandez as the striker. Now, I know I talked about having quality players at each position, but the fact of the matter is, at the moment, Correa is a half-star current ability at attacking midfielder left, and Macon is 2-star current right. But they're both getting better. I want to get them first-team playing time. They're playing a 4-3-3. Lucky us. Okay. And Diakite still there. And they got Pavan. Okay, this could be fun. So my plan in the preseason was to start Jarek in goal and then have Vinicius come on as a substitute. And then I thought, Flores out on the right, all alone, crosses it in the crowd, and Luis picks it out. And I thought, if I wanted to be my keeper of the future, I may as well just see how he does now and essentially throw him to the fire. And if he starts performing really, really bad, or has a few bad games, I've got Jarek, who I can throw in for a couple of games until Vinicius gets his head right. Oh, knocked away. Damgard has it. Crosses it in. Parati's there. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Let's see what that looks like on the 3D. Oh, it's a review. Hey, I've got music for this. Offsides. Dang. Cristiano heads away. Damgard runs out to get it. Heads it in. Goes right through Vinicius' arms. Yeah, they're calling him on sides because of Almeida. Oh, Parati went out with an injury too. Okay. Damgard on the throw-in. Pedroso over to Garcia. Long shot. High above the crossbar. Theo to Glay on the throw-in. Back to Theo. Crosses it in. Knocked away. Marinov off the crossbar. Oh, we dodged a bullet there. Macon to Flores. Gives it away. Osmani picked up an injury. What happened to him? Potential knee injury, and Correa picked up a leg injury as well. Okay. I hit the wrong button there. Let's get them both out. Ruiz is going to come on for Correa. Vlesik's going to have to move up and take Osmani's spot. Gajikadiev is going to come on and take the defensive midfielder position. Fernandez has a yellow card, but we're going to leave him on for now. Vinicius sends it up towards Fernandez. Garba gets there instead. Pavon knocks it down, goes to Heraldez, who heads it over to Garcia. To Glay, out to Damgard on the right. Nice cross. Marinov. Back out to Damgard. Sends it in. Pavon absolutely buries it. Jeez. Two players by him, and whoa! That was very Karate Kid. No can defend. Alright, we're gonna make a couple changes here. Well, we're gonna make one change. Frank is gonna replace Fernandez. 10 minutes left, guys. Can we get a goal? Damgard on the throw-in to Pedroso. Back to Damgard. Sends it in. Hustek knocks it away. Francisco Glade tries to sing it in. He bounces off a Bastia player. Jeez. Oh, that was a very FM19 move. Vinicius didn't even react. Hit him in the back, went in. 3 minutes of extra time. Pavon, corner kick in. Gamboa, and Vinicius with a save. Well done. Sends it out to Almeida. Crosses it in. Macon. Dispossessed. That's 17 shots, 6 on target for them, 7 shot, 1 on target for us. Even after that, Vinicius had a 6'6", Flores had a 6'2", Ronaldo had a 6'2", Macon a 6'3". That was just not a good game for us. So we've got the group stage draw coming up in 4 days. I'm going to forward to that. We'll see our draw, and then we'll call it an episode. Back in a bit. Back a little bit sooner. Osmani's out 2 to 3 weeks with pulled knee ligaments. Correa is out 9 days to 2 weeks with a gashed leg. Fun times. I'm not quite sure how this has happened. We finished in the same position we did last year, but this year we're ranked 3rd in the draw. So, well, let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm going to breeze through the first 16 selections, and we'll come back for the 3rd pot. Okay, so here we go. Group A is Roma with PSG and Barcelona. Group B is PSV with Porto and Bayer. Group C is Fenerbahce with Monaco and Bayern. Group D is Napoli with Chelsea and Real Madrid. Group E is Basel with Lyon and Man City. Group F is us with Atletico Madrid and Benfica. Group G is Valencia with Inter and Liverpool. Olympiacos is in Group H with Man United and Juventus. And then the last teams are Celtic in Group A, CSKA Moscow in Group B, Salzburg in Group C, Club Brugge in Group D, Zenit in Group E, Zurich in Group F, Hertha in Group G, and Dynamo Kiev in Group H. Real Madrid, or not Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid and Benfica. And Atletico has been one of the top teams in La Liga since the save started. And then, who else did we have? We had Benfica. Again, a top team in the Portuguese league. So not an easy group. Now we definitely got our work cut out for us. Take a look at the schedule here, see what's coming up. So taking a look at the schedule here, seeing what's coming up, we've got Atletico Madrid in 3 weeks. So we are going to come back for Atletico Madrid and Bordeaux. And hopefully we can get ourselves right. We're on a 2-game losing streak. That's something new for us. It's been a while. Well, I take that back. It may not have been a while. It could have been just last year we had a 2-game losing streak. We had that period last year where we didn't win a game in 6 games. But back-to-back losses for us is very, very rare. We tend to do a lot of draws. Well, we had 3 losses in a row here, but that was League One, Kuda League, and Champions League quarterfinals, so that doesn't really count. Unlike the game we just played. Yes, we were handed a tough group. Holy cow, we were handed a tough group. The reserves are doing well, and I need to take a look at the training. So, that's the plan. Back for Atletico Madrid and Bordeaux in the next episode. If you liked what you see and heard, please leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I'll answer them as fast as I can. My name's FM19, and you've been watching the Return on Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 79.